Sort of the traditional type of hacker that is committing crime within China, was actually hacking, sites within China.
Despite the strong arm of Big Brother, there's a newfound sense of bravado amongst the young. In Beijing alone, there are over 70 institutions of higher learning, including the famous Beijing University. But the communist stamp is still ever present. Freedom of speech is met with an underlying current of uneasiness. It shouts, "Don't speak out too loudly or boldly." This could be the reason why so many underground internet cafes have opened up. They are luring the intellectually hungry with visions of international fare. Coolfrog is a hacker from Shanghai, China's booming financial center.
From an early period, I learned about the internet from a series of articles my Taiwanese friend wrote. His name was Coolfrog. Some friends who knew I liked frogs changed my name to Coolfrog, and I've been using it since '98.
Coolfrog was an excellent student, and before long he leapt into the internet and hacking. From there he mastered his art by regular visits to his favorite haunts, internet cafes.
Last August, while chatting online with my friends, I discovered a piece of news. It was about how a taxi driver in Beijing was beaten up by 4 Japanese after vomiting in his cab. Afterwards, they threw 500 yuan to him.
Asked by the taxi driver to clean up the mess, the Japanese businessmen turned on him and beat him up instead. This story infuriated Coolfrog, and together with some friends, they decided to hack into Japanese business websites and leave their mark. They feverishly defaced sites to leave messages of anger and disgust behind, demanding that the Japanese government apologize for the incident. Were Coolfrog and friends simply bored teenagers trying to create havoc and disorder? Or were they political hacktivists, the new breed of activists who protest under the cover of the internet? From iDefense, Vice President and CEO Brian Kelly.
Trying to understand the motivation of a hacker or a group is really one of our greatest challenges. It's an important component of understanding the threat.
But what can happen if thousands of hacktivists come together in support of a cause?
What we witnessed a few years ago were typically non-malicious type attacks, maybe driven by intellectual curiosity, a little competitive spirit. Can I deface a website? Can I gain access to a site? What we're seeing today, although a number of those attacks still exist, we're actually seeing more of structured, targeted, sophisticated attacks.
In China, groups of hacktivists have united in protest against what they see as crimes against their motherland. Who are they? Who are they after? And what devastation can they unleash? Lion is a political hacktivist from Beijing. a hacker who uses the internet as a platform for political protest. He is inspired by China's long history. It may be over 2,000 years old, yet the Great Wall still stands today as one of the great wonders of the world. Stretching more than 6,700 kilometers, it was constructed to protect an ancient Chinese empire from marauding tribes. Over hundreds of years, it was constantly rebuilt by different ruling dynasties in an effort to keep the enemy out. Like the wars that the Great Wall has seen, lions are just as formidable, except that his have no boundaries, and his enemies are faceless. His hero is military marshal Ye Tianying, who came from Lion's hometown and who is known in history as one of China's top 10 generals.
Seeing this Great Wall reminds me of Marshal Ye Jianying, who comes from my home village. In 1955, he was recognized as one of China's greatest generals. He contributed tremendously to New China's advancements. His legacy, like this Great Wall, is etched in the people's minds. Therefore, from young, I was influenced by him and was determined to be a hero and to help the people when I grow up.
Lion's hometown is a rural village in South China.
I'm Lion, and I was born on 7th October 1980 in Guangdong Province, in a small and impoverished village. My father is a primary school teacher, and my mother is working in the government as a family planning officer. My parents are members of the Communist Party.
In college, he mastered the computer and the internet.
When I first started hacking on the internet, I used to download American software to hack into Taiwanese, Japanese, and American websites. But now I have no need to download them because I can write my own hacking programs.
By rallying patriotic hacktivists together under the name of the Hackers Union of China, Lion formed his own internet army, firmly believing that in numbers and unity, they will be a power to be reckoned with.
The reason I formed Hackers Union of China was because I felt that since there were so many youths online, there must be other patriotic youths like me. But maybe because they didn't have an outlet to express their patriotism. Therefore, I decided I wanted to bring these patriotic youths with hacking skills together. Then we would be stronger, and if our websites should be attacked by the Americans, for example, we could retaliate, and our power would be stronger.
His members are called Honkers, Hong meaning red in Chinese. So it follows that Lion could be considered the cyber general of the Red Army, emulating his childhood hero, Marshal Ye Tianying. There are currently about 16 to 20 different underground unions in China.
we think at least, some 300 or so core members